Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining this evening. We have a few folks that will continue to join, but in the interest of time, we are going to go ahead and begin. So tonight's session is really geared for folks that are considering a graduate business degree and considering careers in the business field, but might not necessarily have a background in business. Maybe their undergraduate experience was not in a business major, or they don't have any specific working experience in business. And they're considering different options in terms of a graduate business degree. So tonight we're really hoping to address some different common questions, and we'll do a quick introduction and welcome, and then we will get into some of the different degrees offered here at Providence College, and explain different pathways to those degree programs, and specifically to how a student will navigate that if they don't have that business background. And then with that, we'll explain different prerequisites and get into application requirements and also a Q&A discussion. Just so everyone's familiar, this webinar, there is a Q&A function. We recommend you use that throughout the session. Don't feel like you have to hold all of your questions till the end. By all means, feel free to type things into the Q&A during the session. If we're able to get to those, we will. This will be about a 30-minute session, so the questions that come up in your mind, by all means, please feel free to enter those so we can address those throughout the session. But without further ado, as well, my name is Diana Jingles. I'm Director of Graduate Admission at Providence College. Some of you may also be familiar with my colleague, Daniela Volkvinsky. She can't be here this evening, but she is also another counselor within our office. And then our counterpart, Julia Rumsey, who I'll let introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Julia Rumsey. I am the Assistant Director for the graduate programs in the School of Business. So working with the MBA program, the MS in Sports Admin program, and the MS in Business Analytics program, which we'll go over in a little bit this evening. So to get started, our 3 graduate programs in the School of Business are open to students with or without a business undergraduate degree / people with, as Diana said, work experience in the business industry. So our first business graduate degree is an MS in Business Analytics. This program will focus on quantitative skill building, and it's typically it brings together different parts of math, computer science, finance, and operations management. This degree is a very specialized degree, so this is not a broad degree that's going to cover a lot of different areas. Instead, it's going to focus on analytics, data, storytelling with that data. And that's going to be really the content of every single class, and the classes will build on top of each other. This program is also a cohort model, and it's a lockstep program. So it's designed in a way that each semester is a building block for the following semester. The prerequisites for this program, which I'll go into depth in a little bit, would be Math or Finance 217, which is Introduction to Statistics. And then an additional prerequisite you'll work on once you're accepted into the program would be MSS or MSA 502, and that would cover Excel certification and then attending orientation, but those are things you'd work on once you're in the program. The MS in Sports Administration is our other very specialized degree. This is a new program. It's fully online, and this program will focus on PR, guest services, sponsorship, event planning, facility management, athletic compliance, and more in the sports industry. So it is going to cover different business topics, but it's all going to be through a sports lens. So this program would be for someone that is interested in going or already in the sports industry from a business perspective. The only prerequisite for this program is the Math or Finance 217, which is that basic intro to statistics. And then the prerequisite you will work on once you're accepted, which is Excel orientation, and then potentially some other like a boot camp type course if you need it, if you do not have a business background. The GMAT or the GRE, which are the standardized tests for business graduate programs, are not required for either of these programs.
Yeah, and just a note on these two programs, we call them our specialist degree programs because they do have a particular focus. They are in a cohort format in the sense that there are 25 folks that are in the cohort. Students can either do the program full-time or part-time. If they're doing it full-time, it's about a year. If they're doing it part-time, it's a two-year program. So we say that because the courses are very specialized and they build on top of one another. Whereas our MBA program, which Julia will explain in just a bit, does have a lot of flexibility in terms of the courses are not sequenced in the same way as they are with the MS in Business Analytics and the MS in Sports Administration.
Yes, so our third degree, the Master of Business Administration, so the MBA, is different from the two previous degrees and exactly what Diana said. So this is a generalist degree. So this degree will cover marketing, finance, operations management, some accounting, some strategy, some leadership, and it's not going to go as in depth as the specialized programs would. Instead, it's going to touch on a lot of different areas. So for someone that might not be as looking to go into a specific role like an analyst, this might be a better path, or for someone with entrepreneurial interest or looking to be in a management position overseeing a group, this would be the better degree to get more different business, more business skill sets, but at a wider breadth. So the prerequisites for this program, there are more because there's more types of different content in the MBA. So accounting 203 and 204, that would be your managerial and your financial accounting, microeconomics, macroeconomics, finance 207, that's a basic finance class. Math 217 or Finance 217 is Intro to Statistics. Math 108 is Business Calc 2, and then Marketing 205 would be your introduction to marketing. So these are the prereqs. I'll talk about them a little bit more on the next slide, but this is what a student would need in order to do the MBA level courses. So for the MBA, the prerequisite courses are not required to apply. So if you don't have any of those courses I just listed, you can still apply to the program and do those courses while in the program. If you have some of them, you can still apply and do the remaining prereqs that you have left in the program. It's a common misconception that students think they need to complete them all in order to apply. That is not the case at all, and you'll probably be able to get them done quicker and more efficiently by working with me. So for example, accounting 203 and accounting 204, that's two different classes that would take someone 2 semesters. If you're already enrolled in the MBA program, you can do one class. It's called MBA 548, and it covers both accounting 203 and 204. So you would be able to get both classes done in one semester. So if you are an enrolled student without the business background, there is a way that you can do them while in the program. So I do encourage anyone considering applying, but maybe hesitant because you don't have the business background yet, to apply and then do the prereqs within the program. We will not just, the prereqs exist because we will not just stick you in a 600 level finance class when you've never taken finance before. The whole point is to prepare you for these higher level graduate business courses with the prerequisites. So that's why the prereq structure exists. And there is a way to do it faster than if you were doing it on your own through other institutions or even through PC. So definitely do apply if you don't have them all or if you don't have any. If you are an enrolled student and let's say you need marketing 205 and you want to take it in the spring, but it's not being offered, you are absolutely able to take it at a different institution. A lot of students will do that through CCRI or their home community college if the class that they need is not being offered at a certain time. So that's a common way that students do complete the prereqs while in the program as well. So there are different ways to go about it, but I again want to highlight the fact that you can apply without having those completed and you will have time to do them within the program. The MSBA and the or the MSSA and MSBA are a little bit different. So they only have the stats as the foundational requirement, and that can be taken at any institution. Same as the other prerequisites for the MBA, but this does need to be done before beginning the program. The MBA, you can take them while in the program, but because there's only one, and this is a lockstep program that builds on top of each other each semester, you do need to have stats done in advance. You can apply without having stats done. Let's say you were going to apply now for the MSBA program, and you would just need to complete statistics before beginning the program next August. So plenty of time and lots of different options and places to take statistics, but that would need to be done prior to these programs beginning next August. And that's a conversation that I have with students very frequently. Like, I've been accepted to one of these programs, but how should I go about taking Math 217? Is it offered at PC? When is it offered? How much does it cost? Is it better for me to do it somewhere else? Or I'm still working on my bachelor's degree at UConn. Can I do that here? Is it transferable? So that's something that students will come to me and we will work on together. So regardless of which graduate program in the School of Business you're applying to, do not let the prerequisites intimidate you in any way. They exist to prepare you for the program to be successful. That's our goal, is for you to enter these programs and be successful in them. So I'm happy to work with students in order to navigate the path that makes the most sense for them.
Thanks, Julia. Awesome. Yeah, and just so folks can see kind of a comparison across all three programs in terms of, obviously you've understood from Julia what prerequisites are going to be part of each of the different programs. In terms of the application process for the different programs, so we put a few notes in the different slides earlier, but we wanted to make sure you had a comparison of the three. The standard application is pretty simple in a lot of cases. It's an online application. Students will have a personal statement, resume, and then 2 letters of recommendation that are required within each of the 3 different degree program applications. So those 2 letters of recommendation, really important to have those recommendations coming from folks who can speak to your abilities as a student. So they are able to explain something about your academic work. Certainly if you have, if you're a current undergrad student, for instance, or a recent college graduate, making sure that you have faculty members, and if you've taken any business classes, that could be really helpful. Maybe it was just, you know, a marketing class you had taken. You're not a business major, but you had taken a marketing class, seeing if you can get a recommendation letter from that business faculty member. That could be very helpful. Or certainly a faculty member from your particular discipline who can speak to your particular interest in business. Otherwise, for folks who may have some pretty significant work experience, obviously having a letter from your employer, from someone who has also worked with you in different capacities and can speak to your work ethic, commitment to project management, or to different elements of your academic work, that can be very, very helpful. And then each of the different programs also has a $65 application fee, and we do require official transcripts from all institutions. So lots of times students, they may have started out at a particular undergraduate institution, they may have transferred or taken some non-degree classes. We'll need transcripts from all of those different schools. Additionally, too, there are some times where students, they might have completed a master's or a professional program. We will also need official transcripts from those institutions as well. So just to keep that in mind. A good thing we always recommend for folks to make sure that they are requesting those letters of recommendation early. So connect with the folks that you're going to be requesting those letters of recommendation from. When you're filling out the application, you enter in their information and an email is sent directly to those individuals. So it's a secure link. They're able to upload that recommendation right to your application. So it's a pretty simple process, but you want to make sure that those recommenders know that that secure email will be coming to them. So a good idea, connect with them. We always recommend give them at least 2 weeks before they're expected to submit that recommendation. So you'll want to make sure that you're paying close attention to our different application deadlines, which I have listed below. And then two, sometimes it takes time with those official transcripts. Obviously, most schools, they have electronic transcript orders that are very easy, making sure that you are ordering those official transcripts from those different institutions and having them sent to gradschool@providence.edu. Pay close attention to the GMAT or GRE exams. With our MS in Business Analytics and Sports Admin, there is no test score. But with the MBA, there are test scores that are required. So if students are not meeting a certain threshold, we'll explain that MBA GMAT GRE waiver. But if students are not meeting a certain threshold within their GPA or other qualifications, the test scores are going to be required. And you'll want to make sure that you are submitting either that GMAT or GRE score before that application deadline. With that, if the scores will be coming to us after that deadline, please reach out to our office and let us know. We'll want to know exactly when you took that exam. And so with that test score, that will also be reviewed and included within the committee's review of your application. There's no minimum score for Providence College, but for those that are required to take that test, we do expect that you've taken the time and worked closely with that testing center and with the exam. You'll see deadlines for our different programs. For a lot of students who are applying, again, full-time or part-time for MBA, you'll see November 1 is an upcoming deadline. As we mentioned, there are different cohorts. So the cohorts for the MS in Business Analytics, MS in Sports Administration, those programs begin in fall term, and we have priority deadlines, October 15, December 15, and February 15. We do recommend any student who plans to complete a full-time program and is looking for a graduate assistantship, they should be applying by the February 15th deadline at the very latest. We say that because we want to ensure the availability of assistantships, and the majority of those assistantships are available and posted for summer and fall term starts. So again, a good idea to make sure you have completed that application submitted by that February 15th deadline for those students who are looking for a full-time program and considering graduate assistantships. With that too, just a word for international students. Any international student, there will be a TOEFL requirement for students if they have not attended an institution in the U.S. and one that has a primary language of English. So just to be aware of those specific requirements. We also will need a transcript evaluation if the undergraduate work is outside of the U.S. So just to be aware that there are a few additional components for folks who are international students and submitting application materials. Again, with the MS in Business Analytics and Sports Administration, we do not award visa sponsorship at this time. So with a student who is international considering a business graduate degree, really strongly consider that MBA program. There are ways that a student can then specialize within some particular courses, but their best opportunity is going to be that MBA program. Beyond that as well, thinking about the program and really comparing the three programs together, students also want to pay close attention to different factors within the application. So taking a look at different elements of that application. When you're starting that application, you will see You'll have time to answer the different prompts. Take time with that personal statement, with the resume. Have someone look it over, and also make sure that you are also really outlining information that will be helpful for our committee. So there's a committee where we will be looking at the different application materials a student has submitted, and then making those decisions based either upon the cohort of students that we are selecting, or upon the qualifications that the student has within that program. So the next slide actually gives you a full overview of all of the different deadlines. And I don't know if we want to advance that slide. Right. Perfect. So just a quick overview of the different deadlines. Obviously, you'll be able to see the different rounds and deadlines right from the web pages as well. On the programs, you can see the individual deadlines, but sometimes it's helpful just to have a map. We do have upcoming deadlines for the MSBA and MSSA. Both programs, they have that first priority deadline of October 15th. And again, December 15th and February 15th are the next consecutive deadlines. For folks that are looking for that MBA, whether it be part-time or full-time for spring, again, November 1, and then March 1 for summer, and May 1 for fall. So just to keep that in mind. Again, a lot of folks that are considering those part-time programs will adhere to those deadlines. Those that are looking for full-time programs and a graduate assistantship opportunity, again, we recommend that February 15th to make sure you've submitted all materials. Terrific. So again, we went through a lot of different pieces of information, and we're happy to help answer different questions that folks might have. Just so folks are aware as well, we do have an upcoming session, and this is going to be a session for students interested in learning more about the different consulting courses that are available across our different degree programs, particularly our MBA program, the different consulting courses that students and different local businesses are involved with. It'll be a really helpful showcase of some of the work that you might be involved with during your time in the program. Our consulting courses are such valuable courses for networking and making those community connections. We've heard some really great things about students who have actually found different positions, changed career paths, and it was in large part from these different networking opportunities that they've had from not only their faculty, but consulting courses as well. That said too, in November, we will also be holding a GMAT virtual session. So we are actually having somebody from GMAT who will be presenting, and students who attend, they will get a 10% discount on their GMAT exam. So if you're one of those folks who you know that you will need to take either the GRE or GMAT exam, good thing to explore what the elements are for the GMAT during this session. And if you end up taking the exam, you would get a discount on that exam offered through GMAT. So I will actually, one thing I noticed, we didn't cover information on the GMAT waiver, and I'm just going to put that in the chat for folks, but any questions that people have? I can see somebody typing, but I don't know I don't know who it is, and I'm not sure. All right. So in the meantime, I'm just going to put this in the chat for folks. It is an overview of the GMAT waiver and exam, and it also provides the codes that folks will need when they submit their test scores to Providence College. So helpful link goes directly to the overview of what a student would qualify for a waiver, and also then different elements of both tests. There's no preference in terms of what test a student might take. It's really based upon the student's interest in terms of they might find through some of the practice questions and exams, they may like the structure of the GMAT better than the GRE. Either test is acceptable to our School of Business. Fantastic. All right. Well, since there are no questions coming up, by all means, feel free to connect with us, email us at any time. And we are just at the half hour, so we thank everyone. Oh, there we go. And here's the main email for our grad school. This is going to be the grad school at providence.edu account that you submit transcripts to. Again, you order those transcripts to be delivered to grad school at providence.edu, but also to any questions that you might have, feel free to reach out to us through that email. And then also Julia within the School of Business, if you have any questions about course sequences and how that schedule might look like for you as a student, if you're considering whether that be a part-time or full-time program, and the different prerequisites that you might need, Julia will be a great contact for you. Terrific. Awesome. Well, thank you, everyone, and have a good evening.
A great evening, everyone. Thanks.
Okay.
Okay, yay.
Yep. This was good. We're going to use this as a recording
Okay,
and have
awesome.
available. So I think let me just stop the recording.